Hey everyone, how is everyone doing? On this Sunday night, Sunday, July 5th. Is that what it is? July 5th, 2020? Um, yeah, so I'm doing a podcast on this Sunday, the Sunday after, Independence Day, July 4th, 2020. Did you guys have the backyard barbecues and all that? Huh? In this post-pandemic era, our times, fucking crazy times, that's what I call them, right? Um, I went to my sister's place because she invited a couple of people over there in Long Island City. And it was nice to see her after 4 months, I hadn't seen her in like fucking 4 months during this fucking pandemic bullshit that was going on since like February, March, right? And here we are, July of this year, right? And we still have those fucking surges down in the south. How is that going, by the way? I haven't checked the news, although I've been listening to news, as I always do, right? Yeah, it was nice to see her. She cooked some food, and then I always keep asking her that. Listen, is this spicy? Like she made some guacamole with some, and then she put in there apparently like the green chilies. She told me. I'm like, no, I can't eat that stuff. She cooked some amazing like okra, but then she did the same thing. Not green chilies, but she put something in there and it was like spicy. And I'm like, listen, this is amazing, great, but just my body can't handle that. And you know that. But she did cook some baked chicken. Like she used some sort of a French recipe. That was great. That was fucking amazing. Yeah, my sister, she's great. Yeah, and then, oh, by the way, so, Long Island City, I was there obviously last year too. And Long Island City is where you can actually see all the fireworks, Macy's fireworks, 4th of July. Because they traditionally happen on the East River, right? I mean, they were happening for some time, or a few years on Hudson. But then they moved them to East River, right? But then this fucking year, apparently, as everything else is a fucking shit show, so were the fireworks, apparently. So we had dinner, right? So then we went down to the to the um, to the park, right? So Long Island City, right by East River, they have a nice park, and so she had a couple of friends over, and then we went down, and then it was kind of fucking getting chilly, and there were a lot of fucking people out there, right? And so everybody is waiting and waiting. It's already 9:30, no fucking fireworks except for like little blips and lights above, like fucking what do you call it, Empire State Building, right? So apparently, this year, because of the fucking pandemic, right? Macy's actually, I think they teamed up with NBC or whatever the hell that is, right? That network show. And so I think they just did like a show on top of Empire State Building. So there was no like real fireworks. And the crowds were getting bigger and bigger. And I told them, listen, I got to get the fuck out of here because if I stay here, given that, it was already like close, like fucking 10 o'clock, I'm like, listen, I got to go because, I have to drive back to Jersey City. And whether the fireworks happen or not, I just gotta get back. So I just basically just fucking drove back to Jersey City. It took me like half an hour, no traffic. But yeah, it was nice to again see her. Um, and then yeah, today I was supposed to actually my girlfriend was supposed to be over, but then she texted me. She said that her boss was being annoying, and she had been at work since 7 o'clock, and she was not letting her go. Her boss. And I'm like, baby, that sounds like an annoying boss, right? She works at this restaurant, and then I haven't heard from her. So I think I'm going to text her later on to make sure. I also called her, but she didn't pick up the phone. So I presume everything is okay. Um, so yes, there were a lot of like small fireworks. I was driving, on. I was driving on. Oh shit! I just got the text message from her. I just got out of work. Um, oh shit! So she worked for like 14 hours. All right. Okay. So looks like she, her boss annoyed her. Obviously, told her to stay at work. Right. Hopefully, she gets paid for that. Top dollars, right? On a holiday weekend, Sunday. So and so I think we're gonna meet tomorrow. So which is fine. So I'm just gonna do my podcast tonight, and let's see what is she saying. I have the whole day off tomorrow. Next day I don't work until 12. So if you're free, I can stay late or even sleep or if you want. Hold on a second. Next day I don't work until 2 p.m. Sorry, I'm just doing a podcast. Okay, so I think we're gonna meet tomorrow. So in any case, sorry, I apologize, but um, what else is going on, huh? All right, so yeah, I'm also watching some Premier League soccer, as I always do, right? Oh, so so no, I guess. Oh shit! What the hell am I saying? Jesus fucking Christ! I was looking up Thursday, Friday. I was looking up online and like pricing for a bike. And this is the fucking biggest mistake I made. Right, right. Which is that I forgot. Not that I forgot, but I didn't have means to bring my bike. I was in a fucking hurry when I was moving, sort of in a hurry because I just wanted to get the fuck out of Brooklyn when I moved last year, and I had that great road bike, that French road bike I had for like a couple of years, 3 years I think, and then I forgot to bring it. I didn't have any. I didn't have the rake, the car rake, so I think that was the other reason why I couldn't bring it, or I just didn't bring it, and then actually, and I was looking up, and I think this is one of my cheat sheet topics. So I was looking up yesterday on Craigslist, and this is what the fuck it is, right? With the fucking again, I had to blame everything on fucking coronavirus. Is that what it is? Well, I mean, partly I had to blame some things on coronavirus, right? So the bike prices, used bikes that you can buy on Craigslist or whatever the hell it is, right? Their prices have gone up so fucking high. You won't fucking believe it. Because I bought my bike 3 years ago on Craigslist, And then I spent another $80, at the bike shop to get it tuned and whatever the hell else I had to do, change the cables for the brake, the front and and the back. Now, I think I spent about $100, and then when you buy it from somebody on Craigslist, you can then also negotiate, right? That's what I did, and then this year I'm looking at the fucking prices for a road bike, right? With a frame size of like 17, 18, 19, right? Because I'm not a tall guy, I'm not. I'm kind of a short guy, I can say. On average, I'm 5'6", 5'7", right? So, regardless of the frame size, the fucking prices are fucking off the chart this year, right? Obviously, because of fucking coronavirus, because everybody wants to have a bike, everybody wants to have alternate means of transportation, right? Because nobody wants to take the fucking subway. And so I'm like, what the fuck? But I'm still looking, I'm still looking because it's nice to have a bike. And, the weather is nice. It's summer now. And, it's just nice to like bike around and, along the canal here, excuse me, etc., etc. So yeah, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? $500 for a fucking used road bike from the 80s, and like one of those Schwinn or one of those fucking bikes, right? And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I'm not fucking spending that much more fucking money, I would rather buy a new one, from like fucking Walmart or one of those. Although you can't find those vintage bikes, Yeah, that was the fucking mistake I made. I didn't bring my fucking bike when I was moving from fucking Brooklyn, right? All right, so so without ranting too much on that one, I did some cook. Did I do some cooking? Okay, no, I didn't actually. Well, actually, I went to get my sandwich in Hoboken, and then I got the lunch special from that Persian place, with the chicken and the basmati rice and all that, right? Fucking amazing. But then the chicken was kind of dry, so I made a stew out of it, and that's what I just had for dinner. So what else is going on, huh? So yeah, so the Independence Day is over, and the weekend is over, and we are back to back to work tomorrow. Although I was replying to a couple of emails that came through over the weekend, some of the fucking urgent stuff for work. And I did work for like an hour on some of the drawings that I had to get out tomorrow. So and that's basically I did today. That's what I did today. And then Friday, I came back from work. Then I did some swimming, up at the swimming pool. That was fucking amazing. I just quick laps, back and the front laps and all that, right? And a couple of quick dives, and that's a fucking amazing exercise. I love it. I was hoping that my girlfriend would be over, and we had planned to go into a swimming pool together, right? But again, without repeating myself, she got stuck at work. So maybe tomorrow we will. I think tomorrow is also kind of warm, hot actually for Northeast. I think the temperatures are in the 90s. Is that what it is? Temperatures in the 90s, everyone. Perfect day to be in a swimming pool, right? Yeah, exactly. So, lot of political, bullshit is going on. Obviously biased and Political left, political right, bullshit on the right, bullshit on the left. There's no fucking logic being used, rationality. And I was actually just sending a tweet, just a random tweet. I was actually listening this past week. I'm pretty sure you all did, about the fucking like chalk bullshit down and up in not down but up in, oh fucking, there's a fucking goal, right? Arsenal did a goal against who's that? Wolverhampton. Am I saying that fucking right? Don't quote me on that one. But 42 minutes and they just did a goal. Arsenal, Premier fucking league, right? So what the fuck I was talking about, sir? Yeah, I was talking about the the political bullshit. So I was tweeting. I was talking about the fucking, the whole fucking thing about like these fucking whoever, using the peaceful protest are abusing them with guns and, taking up the city blocks of the cities such as like fucking municipalities such as like Seattle, Washington. And those fucking like states, their leftist like ideology and all that bullshit, right? Not that I lean right or anything like that. I actually lean towards the truth, everyone. So fuck everything. So truth. There's a truth to things, okay? So I was reading and I was obviously, listening to news and all that. And finally, after the fucking, what do you call the fucking violence and gun violence and all that, right? And without involving any fucking cops and any of those, right? But, when people are taking over, these kids who are taking over city blocks with guns and all that, right? That's what fucking happens. Gun violence, right? And so this African American teenager who lost his life, and his father was basically like, okay, somebody has to take this responsibility for my son's life. Obviously, right? Somebody has to. Maybe the fucking mayor of Seattle should take fucking responsibility because she couldn't protect these fucking kids and these people, right? Maybe, I don't know. Without being fucking like political about the whole fucking thing, but there's the fucking level of like fucking, identity bullshit that we are dealing with, Nobody fucking talks about the truth. So who's responsible for the life of that poor teenager, right? I think he was a teenager and I feel really bad for his parents. And this is the fucking level of bullshit, right? When it comes to like biased news and bullshit, as much as fucking Fox is bad, so is fucking CNN and all these leftist fucking leaning, media and bullshit, right? Fuck all that, dude. Fuck all that. So let's not rant about this. So let's talk about something else, sir. I got a lot of great topics on my cheat sheet. So everyone, and so let's dig into our cheat sheet, or maybe not. It's too early for the fucking cheat sheet, right? What else is going on, huh? I was actually thinking to go down towards the shore, Jersey Shore, and then I'm like, nah, I felt like fucking lazy. I thought maybe I should drive down to fucking Jersey Shore and go to a fucking beach. I'm like, nah. It's too fucking far to just fucking drive down there. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. But I've been eating a lot, so maybe is it like compulsive, like not compulsive, but like is it like what do you call compulsive eating? I hope not. Eating is good for you, especially for a guy like me. I don't get fat or anything like that, so that's okay for me. And I do my body exercise morning, evening, right? Once in a while, I will go to the swimming pool and all that, right? And yeah, so I don't get fed, so it's okay to have like an extra bite, right? Um, the other thing that actually I was looking into, because this is the fucking bullshit now it's happening. I'm pretty sure you all who have booked your flights for vacation, if you have booked any flight for your vacation, right, this year, uh, I got an email a couple of days ago from Expedia because I booked my flight to Colorado without repeating myself. I did that last year, and then I got an email from Expedia saying that United has changed my flights. So, I looked at my itinerary, and apparently they changed the fucking flights. I mean, it's not a disaster. They changed like the departure here from Newark, New Jersey. Instead of 2:15 at 2:45 p.m., I think it's like 1 o'clock or something like that, which is fine. You know, I'll be up 1 o'clock. So they're asking me if I wanted to cancel. I'm like, no, I don't want to fucking cancel because I got a good deal for that flight. And then the other thing, right? The other thing, because I have like fucking 7 or 8 days in Colorado. So what I did was that I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should, while I'm on the fucking kind of like mountain states like such as Colorado, maybe I should go to the West Coast, right? So I looked up on Expedia for I think like early September. I think second or third. I think it was that 2nd September from Denver to fucking LA, right? And then coming back on the 5th, so I can fly back from Denver back to the East Coast on the 6th, because 6th is when my flight is, right? From Colorado back to New Jersey. And I got such a fucking good deal, right? A round trip, $65 fucking dollars. I'm like, let's fucking book this. You can't fucking go wrong with $65, right? Yes, let's fucking do this because I have too many fucking days to be in Colorado, right? I mean, I don't mind to be in Colorado, because I just like to be up in nature, just hikes and all that, right? But it is an option. So I booked a flight, and I'll just, fly to LA. I'll spend a couple of days there, and as an option, So I did that, I think, the day before, right? And I printed out that, so that's my vacation. That's my fucking vacation for this year. So hopefully nothing fucking blows up in terms of like this fucking coronavirus bullshit, right? And although when I was booking my flight, right, to fucking LA, Expedia was telling me that I should look up the rules for coronavirus. Maybe there's a fucking quarantine I have to do. If I have to fucking do quarantine for 14 days, it doesn't make any fucking sense to go to LA. But again, we're talking about like 2 months from now. So with my optimistic, uh, you know, foreseeing a future, near future, early September, that things would be actually much better by then. Although the coin can land on either side, right? On either side of the coin, it can land, but I'm hoping that things would be better by then, right? And I can just fly, first to Denver and then to fucking Colorado. I mean, I'm sorry, then to California, right? Without just have to fucking quarantining all that bullshit, right? I think if anything, it's the South, but I had to talk to Expedia, so let's see what happens, right? All right, so yeah, so that's what I did, and that was fucking amazing. $65, you can't fucking go wrong, right? No, you can't. Um, and I'm just like fucking like ready to go on a vacation, just get on a fucking plane, go somewhere, and be in a hotel room somewhere where I can just like, you know, feel like I'm, living a normal life. Normal lives are rife, not rife. Normal life, just like fucking last year, right? So, so let's see what happens. Although not a lot of people are flying these days, so uh, and I don't want to fucking like be in a quarantine for like 14 days. Obviously I can't afford that. I don't have fucking time to do that. So let's just not fucking rant on that one. So let's see what happens. I mean, it's not the fucking end of the world. Although it would be a disaster to just spend the whole fucking year without going anywhere. Um, it would be a fucking disaster, without a fucking vacation. So let's keep our fingers crossed, everyone, and so what's happening, by the way, with the fucking opening of tri-state area here in the Northeast, right? The restaurants are obviously still not open for indoor dining, thanks to the surge in the fucking coronavirus, and also obviously our bureaucratic politicians, right? New York is the worst. So maybe in a week, I think everybody's watching this fucking SARS, right? Oh, this is the other thing I was thinking about, right? So I watched a lot of fucking great movies, and obviously my shows that I've been watching. My regular show. So I was thinking that maybe I should have like a segment, just like I have a fucking segment, for the cheat sheet. Maybe I should have like a few minutes of a segment of what movies I watched for the week, right? Or the weekend, as part of my podcast, right? Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe, right? I mean, if you guys are interested, you can, look up and well, I'm pretty sure you guys are doing the fucking same, right? I mean, I'm not talking about a podcast, but I'm talking about, since everybody's spending a lot of fucking time, right, at home and all that, right? So, shows, Netflix and HBO and Disney Plus and whatever else, right, is there. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, if you are, if you're single, no kids, and even though you may have a girlfriend, and just like me, and then I mean, my girlfriend, she's sweet. She's one of the sweetest women I have actually been dating. Um, and it has been going great so far for us. So, but still, like, it's not like we're living together. Although we have been dating now for like a whole fucking year. So I have to basically tell her. She probably obviously knows that too. Obviously, right? Um, so we should just go for a dinner. I mean, I don't want to do the whole fucking anniversary thing. We've just been dating. It's not like we got married or something like that. But in any case, so the point I was trying to make was that when you have a lot of time. I mean, not a lot of not that I have a lot of time in terms of like just sitting at home and just doing nothing. I spend a lot of time working, and then. Whatever else I do, right? Oh, by the way, so speaking of which, I changed the wheels of this computer stand that I had built. Remember the video I uploaded? If you guys have watched it, on my YouTube channel. And so basically, the wheels I had originally installed um, were like 3 inches high, with the diameter of the wheel, and then the brake and everything else, and then the metal plate that actually goes on, at the bottom of the base of the stand, right? So I ordered the small ones, fucking pretty cheap, like $12 from Amazon. So they came in on Friday. So I basically I replaced the wheels. Now it's my stand is lower, about 2 inches lower. So that makes a lot of difference, So I can basically watch whatever the hell I'm watching. For example, I'm watching Arsenal versus Wolverhampton, whatever the hell that team is, right? Premier League. And yeah, that was fast. The fucking things came in fast, and I did that yesterday. It took me like fucking half an hour to do that. So this project is basically complete. My computer stand project is complete, and you guys need any help in building a customized computer stand for your home needs, your not the office needs. Office, obviously, I have desks and all that, right? I have 3 fucking what do you call it, screens and all that, right? But yeah. Things are pretty quiet, which is good. I like it quiet, especially on a Sunday. Tomorrow is a fucking, work day. And so I've been sleeping well, actually. I went to, I kind of had a fucking upset stomach. Kind of, because of that freaking, what do you call the spicy food at my sister's place and all that, right? So, but I had that yogurt, one of those the small yogurt that I use for as a dessert. So that helps if you eat spicy food. That the yogurt helps. Yogurt, sir, yogurt. That helps. And it's fucking amazing. Actually, yogurt is good for you. It's good culture, bacterial culture for your guts. And yeah, I did go to my doctor actually. Was that last week? I think I went there for a regular checkup and all that. So let's see what happens. I mean, I'm not drinking or anything like that, so I'm pretty healthy and I sleep well. Actually, I went to sleep late last night, around 3 o'clock in the morning. But then I woke up really late, at noon. And when you have it depends on what you ate the night before, right? And then your dreams are also basically dependent on what's in your fucking stomach, right? Obviously. So everything we do revolves around our body, right? Because our dreams and everything else, our mind is basically just because of our brain and our body, right? I mean, is the mind actually sitting somewhere outside of our physical body? I'm not sure. Let's not go there. I have no idea. I think I did mention about some fucking the usual stuff that we all think about, wonder about, and what's the whole fucking universe is and all that, right? But we are what we eat. Is that what it is? We are what we eat, and what we do. I think to an extent, and our thoughts and everything else is. I mean, our thoughts and everything else we do is not exactly what we eat and all that, but our body is what we eat, basically. That's what I wanted to say, right? Does it affect our intellect? Maybe it does. I'm pretty sure it does. Just like, if you were to ingest like, something that actually gives you what, like fucking hallucinations or makes you high or anything like that, right? I'm not doing any of that, but I'm just drinking some water, and without getting into that topic of discussion, I think we should just get into our cheat sheet. It's already like over half an hour, and I got some great topics in my cheat sheet. So let's just get into our cheat sheet, right? I presume you guys had a great long weekend, are still having it, right? Oh, by the way, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the SBA, right? Small Business Administration. So I did apply for their emergency loan. It's open until the end of September, so I applied for that. So it's in the process. I applied for that yesterday morning, and then I got a confirmation today saying that I should, I should create an account, which I did today, and then let's see what happens, right? Yes. So what the hell I was trying to do? Okay, so let's just get into our cheat sheet, right? Okay, so Hanke-Henry Calendar, everyone. Hanke-Henry Calendar. I think I talked about this in one of our, maybe a couple of my podcasts previously. And so they were having on NPR, they were having a show on time, how the time was divided between like fucking Pacific time, Mountain time, then the time in the Midwest and all that, right? And then the Eastern Daylight Time or Standard Time, right? And so they were also talking about how if Hank and Henry are these two, I think, scientists. They have come up with a calendar that actually is much better than the Gregorian calendar, right? Because it basically streamlines the days and the hours and even the time, right? The months and everything else. But obviously, nobody has the guts to implement it, right? And one thing they were talking about was, which is fucking amazing, fascinating, and that's going to basically revolutionize obviously everything in everybody's life, is that if this calendar is implemented, then wherever you are, wherever the fuck you are on this planet, right, you would have the same fucking time. I'm assuming it would be, the only difference would be PM or AM, right? So it would be the same time. It just, the difference would be if you're running on the 24-hour clock, it would be the 20 hours versus the 8 p.m. Or for example 2 a.m. versus like 2 a.m. would be the same for both, right? Is that what it is? Yeah, 2 p.m. would be different because the AMs are going to be the same, right? The PMs would be different. So at some point in time, I think people with logic would, think about this thing, and maybe they will implement Henry's calendar. Who fucking knows? Maybe in my lifetime, but I don't know. But that was very interesting. That's why I have that at top of my list, top of my cheat sheet list, everyone. And so wouldn't that be fucking fascinating if a calendar is like changed? That would basically fucking change like everything, right? So basically we will have to change the software on the computers, on the phones, and everywhere else, right? the whole calendar would fucking change, right? I guess because the humans are still, although they may be innovative and all that, but I think this is a big change. I don't think the human beings are ready for that. Uh, but at some point in time, I'm assuming that the calendar would be streamlined. Maybe not. Maybe exactly not Hank-Henry's calendar, but maybe somebody else's. But who knows? So far, I think Hank-Henry's calendar appears to be more streamlined to be implemented on this planet, right? All right, everyone. So my next topic: bike prices, Craigslist, and future of transportation. I talked about that. So um, I do still want to get a bike. So let's see if I can buy it online or if I can find it on Craigslist. Let's see what happens, right? All right, my third topic, everyone. NASA lunar mission toilet challenge and price. So apparently NASA has a challenge for people to come up with a design for a toilet on the lunar base, right? Future lunar base, near future lunar base they want to have on moon. I think the challenge is not only that the toilet would be used on the lunar base, because if you are on the lunar base, which is the moon base, you would have gravity. I think the challenge is that the toilet should be capable of being used both in the International Space Station and on the lunar. So on the lunar base. So which means that it should be able to be it should be able to function in zero gravity as well as in the gravity of moon. Right? Is that what it is? So I did actually sign up for that, although I have no fucking idea how to design that. I'm an engineer. But the price is $35,000. And that would be distributed among the top three evenly. Is that what it is? The first three, winners. Is that what it is? But I thought that was very interesting that that somebody would have to come up with this design, right? Which I think would be really, really cheap for NASA if somebody comes up with a design for a toilet for $35,000. It's still pretty cheap compared to what they would be spending if they were to basically contract this work to like an outside consultant, right? Because this is an open challenge for anybody, every one of you. So you can take up this challenge if you want. You can, I think you can go to this website called HeroX. Is that what it is? HeroX, HeroX.com, one of those. But you can Google it. It will take you to the website, right? All right, everyone. My next topic is Manchester City amazing goal against Chelsea. That was fucking amazing goal. I was watching, I think on Friday or maybe Thursday, Premier League, and then also there was a Mexican fucking league, Monterrey with America. There was a fucking amazing goal by this what do you call the offender, and basically he did that goal. What do you call it with the back kick? You flip your body and then you kick the ball in the back, right? Just like this, right? Something like this. Sorry, I'm just wearing my shorts. And then, basically it just fucking landed in the fucking goal. That was fucking amazing, right? So that was fucking amazing. Sorry, I don't mean to like rush you or rush my podcast into like fucking like, running through my topics in the cheat sheet. So yeah, but that was fucking amazing, because I used to play soccer, so I love that fucking game. I'm watching it as we speak with Arsenal 1, right? All right, too much fucking soccer, so let's move on to the next topic, sir. Peterson. Okay, so who else Peterson? Jordan Peterson. I'm pretty sure you all have actually, if you have listened to Joe Rogan and if you are familiar with who Jordan Peterson is, he's a great speaker, and I think he's a psychoanalyst or psychologist, or he's in one of those disciplines. He's an expert on that, and he's a great speaker. And apparently, he had a big issue with the withdrawal from benzodiazepine, right? Benzodiazepines that were actually prescribed to him for anxiety and lack of sleep and all that, right? And then I think I mentioned that in one of my last podcasts, because these benzos are basically fucking like prescribed by like these fucking doctors, as if nothing would happen. Apparently, these benzos, such as like fucking Valium. I remember I told you guys that when I was having issues, like in the midst of this fucking pandemic, and one time I went to the hospital, and then voluntarily. And then they were saying that I was having withdrawal syndromes from like fucking alcohol, and they gave me a Valium, and they gave me a prescription. I'm like, fuck this. Next day, and then the day after, I didn't take any of those fucking pills, and actually I threw them down the fucking drain. I knew that they were a problem, especially they are very very fucking they have a huge fucking dependency issue, and that's what Peterson went through. So he was basically having almost like a life-threatening fucking issue with like withdrawal syndrome from these fucking benzos, right? So all you out there, if you're taking any fucking benzos, you have to be very careful. Talk to your fucking doctor. Do not ever fucking take those fucking benzos, okay? If you are having issues with sleep will come to you. I've gone through this. Not that I've gone through fucking benzos, but try fucking melatonin. That's natural, and eventually it comes to you. Sleep fucking comes to you, and don't take any of those fucking benzos and any of those fucking pills. Okay. So his daughter Michaela Peterson. So she's having this podcast, and she had her dad. I'm sorry, she had. What did I say? She had his dad. She had her dad, Jordan Peterson, on the podcast, and so basically they were talking about what happened to him and what he had gone through, and etc. etc. But you can look up on YouTube, and you can listen to them. And stay away from those fucking benzos, those prescription, as much as fucking opioids are a fucking problem, so are benzos. So stay the fuck away from those, everyone. All right, everyone. So remember I talked about movies and all that. So this is the time for a discussion, not a discussion, just for like a few minutes before I sign off from my podcast, to talk about movies. So I watched a lot of amazing fucking movies, old ones. That I recommend. Crazy Stupid Love with Steve Carell and Ryan Gosling. That's a fucking amazing movie. What's the other one I watched? Unknown with Liam Neeson. Both are from 2011 or 2012. And then a lot of other fucking great movies I watched. Abduction I watched. Abduction, it's an okay movie. With what's his name? The other movie with what's his name? Justin Timberlake. That's also it's an okay movie. It's called, what is that movie with fucking? It's a sci-fi movie. Hold on a second. with Amanda. I forgot her name. Amanda. Jesus. Amanda. What the fuck, dude? Hold on a second. Justin Timberlake movies. Okay, hold on a second. So, I mean, he's a. Oh yeah, in time. In time. I mean, he's a. What is he? A hip hop artist, whatever the hell he is. But in time, in time. That's what I watched. And then the other one I watched was I watched a fucking bunch of movies this past week, everyone, and then this weekend, obviously. Um, oh yeah, and obviously my regular, Atlantis, Stargate Atlantis, sir, again. Excuse me. I'm on season 3 now. Season 3. That's a fucking great show, obviously, right? All right, everyone. So I think I'm going to close out my podcast. Let me see. Do I have anything else in my podcast? United flight change in Denver to LA flight. I talked about that one, everyone. So that's an option for me, just in case if I get bored and I have too many days in Colorado, then I'll just fly to LA, right? So let's see what happens. And with that one, again, I presume you all are having a great weekend, and now it's time for you to shed all that barbecue meat, right? Or all you vegetarians out there, whatever else you guys had, right? For the 4th of July weekend, and I will see you all next weekend.